Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to Paper Terrace. And if you are still confused, because some of you are, I am previously I'm a Cool Mom. Yes, I did change my channel name. So welcome, you're here, and if you are looking for a very simple project to do today, you are at the right place. This is really easy. We're just crafting together, gonna have a good time, and I am hoping that will get you in the creative spirit so you can have some fun. Okay, so we are just going to make these super simple scrappy fabric tags, and so you can go ahead and grab some cardstock. That's what I like to use. You can use cardstock like scraps if you want, but I'm going to show you how I like to use a 12 by 12 piece of paper. And then any type of fabric scraps you have, you can also incorporate lace or any other types of like textile type materials. I have all my fabrics here, and you're going to see that even though I have smaller pieces of scraps, I have so much fabric, you guys, that I did go ahead and grab some of my bigger pieces that I just need to use up. But I have scraps here too, and either way you can use whatever you have. Now I do prefer to use a 12 by 12 cardstock as my base, and the only reason I like to do that is because I think it makes the process much easier to make a bunch of tags at once. I like the stability of the cardstock, so I just go through and use paper prints that I just haven't really used a lot. This is still really pretty and it's still going to show up on the back, so I also think that's a bonus. But I'm going to use the white side so that we have the pretty side on the other side. And then the other thing that's great about using a 12 by 12 is depending on what size you want your tags, you can get, I got all of these just from one paper pad. So I think there's like 9 or 12 there. I should probably be better at math, right? But you can decide what size you want. I did mine, I think, what did I do? I did mine like 3 inches by 4, so that's kind of the same size as a journaling card. Okay, now that I've talked forever, let's go ahead and get started. And all I am doing is going to start out by taking fabric pieces and glue them on. You can make your fabric pieces smaller, bigger, whatever you want. I just take some glue, just kind of spread it around with my finger, because if you don't spread it around, maybe on some fabrics some of the glue like stripes would show through, but I don't think that really happens too often, but just in case. And since I have bigger pieces of fabric, I will maybe like cut one and pull it apart like that, but I'm trying to do this rather fast because I actually need to make like 60 of these tags for my patrons pen pal mail. So I do actually keep some pieces rather big, which you'll see. And if I wanted to add any final touches on each individual tag, maybe if there's only like one fabric, you know, on each tag, I can later go ahead and add some kind of lace or trim to kind of make it just a little bit extra special. But really, whatever you do, it's going to end up nice and pretty. And I kind of like how when I am covering one big area, I like that it's going to be sort of a surprise to see what each individual tag ends up looking like. And I guess I think it's really fun to do it that way. Now, you can see I'm sitting here talking a ton and not paying attention to really what I'm putting down. I'm not going to worry about little strings and imperfections here. I think that's what makes these tags even more special. And then also, I'm not worrying at all what prints I put together. And while I do have a lot of pretty fabrics here, that doesn't mean that I really necessarily think they all go together. Now, you saw me pick through a little bit there, but I wasn't necessarily looking for prints. I'm just looking for this size that I want. I kind of want to do a bigger piece here so that I can really show you guys what the final product will be rather quickly here. Also, guys, hey, if you are on TikTok, or if you just like watching TikTok videos, like short little craft tutorials, please go follow me. I'm all lonely over there. I just started an account. I don't know what I'm doing. Literally asking my 9-year-old, like, hey buddy, how do I do this or that? Just because he's way better at that kind of stuff than me. And so I'm making super quick little like 15-minute craft tutorials, and so I'm not always going to post those things on my YouTube channel, so it might be extra content if you are wanting that. Okay, let's see. And so I did make sure when I was grabbing I love tearing that. I did make sure that when I was grabbing the fabrics that I also grabbed some plain fabric, because number one, I think I just really needed to use some of it up, but then also I feel like it really looks good with all of the prints that I have. And you know what, if you only have plain fabric, don't worry, use it up, it's gonna look great. And if, let's say, all of your fabric is just like plain colors, if you have scraps as well, what you can do is finish them off with maybe like a pretty lace trim, or you could add some really pretty trim like just at the top of your tag. I'm not going to be adding trim to the top of my tags, I'm just going to keep these really simple, but you can totally spruce it up however you see fit. So I'm just going to continue on here, and I do have pretty big chunks where it's going to mean that like the tag might end up, you know, just like I said, having that one print, but I'm gonna show you what I'll do. Oh no, you know what, this is kind of like sideways, and that doesn't bother me too much, but I know it does bother some people. Not bother like they're upset, but some people really prefer to have all of the prints going the correct way, and I probably should care more, but I'm just such a messy crafter. I am trying to make sure that I put these fabrics on pretty straight without wrinkles. And then we are also going to sew around the edges of these ones. However, again, you don't have to do that. That's just because I'm always using my sewing machine. I have it right here. And I will say, if you do have a sewing machine and you're wondering, should I do it? It doesn't take that much time to sew around each tag. And I do feel like it adds a little something extra. So, but they do look great without as well. It's just kind of how much time you want to put into it, but you're gonna see I'm really going to not edit out much time on this video, so you can actually see how long it takes me. So I am gonna use some of this lace here. Oh, you can't tear that. I tried. And if you guys watch my videos a lot, then you probably know that a lot of times to my projects similar to this, I do add a lot of layers. Like I would go back and add lots of different things to this, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to do this one a little bit different just because I want it to be a simple project. That was kind of just what I needed today. And also I think that the outcome is just lovely, and then you're able to use up supplies. Okay. Okay, here. It's a beautiful sunny day today here in Portland, Oregon. And I was outside most of the day with my kids. It's 4 o'clock right now. Arlo is napping. She's kind of a late napper, but luckily she doesn't go to bed too late. Okay, so since this is so plain over here, I'm just gonna add, like I said, I can do this later, but I'm just gonna do it right now. Oh, I just happen to have this little scrap here, and I'm not gonna add too many layers to this, but like just that spot was just bugging me because that's how I am. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's keep it so that I can show you, even though this big space is a little bit bothering me because I know it's going to be a whole tag with just this fabric. Not to say that's bad, but I will go ahead and go back and show you how I would like spruce that up. Okay, so I'm going to take my paper trimmer. P.S. I have a new one coming, and it's one that I had actually like when I first started crafting a long time ago, and I don't know what happened to it. So I bought a second one because this one is, it's okay, but it's really not my favorite. Okay, so you can choose what size you want. I'm just gonna fold this fabric up so that I can get it as close to the edge here as possible. But I am going to do my 3 by 4 inches, and like I said, that's what size small journaling cards are. So I like that because it fits really well. Okay, now I just glued, since I just glued these on, it's kind of snagging, but also it doesn't cut all the way through on mine. Yours might be similar, so I'm just gonna show you how I'll go through that. This is gonna help me get those straight lines. I could use a ruler, but this is just how I prefer to do it. I didn't have any issues on the first time at least, so I'm just gonna go like that, and I'm just lining this up with the 3-inch mark. So we have one more to go. And so they're gonna be 3 inches across, and then we're gonna do 4 inches down. So again, I'm just gonna try to line that up best I can to the 4. And this is feeling like it's like grabbing a little too much for my comfort. There we go. I don't want it to snag the paper. And we'll go to the 4-inch mark again. I was actually thinking that I might have to stop the video and have a few cuts, but so far I haven't had to do that, so hopefully you enjoy seeing this kind of in real time. Sometimes that stresses me out because it takes me longer to do things on camera, but I think I prefer when I'm watching a video, not always, but like projects like these, I kind of do like to see how long does it actually take the person, even though I do know when you're filming it can take longer or whatever. But so as you can see, now I'm going to go through and just take my scissors. So obviously if you have a better trimmer than me, you're not gonna have to do this twice, so that would even save you time there. The other thing you can do, like I said, is use a ruler, draw the lines on the back, and then just cut it with your scissors. So yeah, this will give us, at this size, this will give us 12 tags. So that's pretty awesome because you're kind of, I just feel like you're doing the work for like one project and then you end up with 12 tags. So this would actually be awesome if you're doing a themed journal and maybe you have a couple different fabrics or trims, or really, I mean, you could do the same thing with paper scraps, and maybe I'll do a video with that pretty soon here if you guys want to see that. But so yeah, you could use all the themed fabrics that you have to kind of match that journal, and then you'd end up with 12 different tags. I mean, they all end up different, which I think is just so cool. But they would all be coordinating for your journal. Okay, now what I like to do, you don't have to do this, but I like to go back through and trim up the fabric. And I don't do it perfect. I don't mind a little bit hanging off, but I don't love a lot hanging off the sides. And then I'll be able to use that little piece anyways for my next set of tags, because I do have to make quite a few. And you could tear if you want to, but at this point I don't really want to accidentally mess something up. So I'm just gonna go through with all of these. So actually, since I'm, well, here, yeah. Okay, I think we're good. Sometimes I like a little bit like hanging off if it's like a lace or something, but there, I think we're okay there. Just got 2 more to trim up, and then that one had like a little bit of extra fabric that wasn't really big enough to try to keep on, so I just let it fall off. Okay, so now we can go ahead and I'll show you how I like to finalize these. Oh, like that one's so fun. I would never, see, you would never, or personally I wouldn't think to like do a design like that, but I love how it turns out. So now I'm just gonna cut the corners off. A lot of times I measure these to make sure the corners are exactly the same, but for this project I kind of was just like, you know what, just go for it. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just cut some little triangles like that. Okay. Now we can go ahead and start sewing. I'll just cut a few more of these, and then I can show you what a few of them look like finished. Okay, so let's bring my sewing machine over here. If you guys notice the backdrop on my videos, let me know how you like it. I still definitely don't have the best lighting setup, so I promise I'm working on that. I'm thinking about ordering some lights because I just know it's not great, but I hope you guys like the backdrop. It's from Etsy and it's called Ink and Elm, I believe. Okay, Okay guys, I'm using just a straight stitch. You could do crisscross and that would be really cute. But I just want to do simple, and it takes the least amount of thread. So I'm just going to do that right there. And so there's one. So with this fabric you can see a few dots of glue kind of show through, but that definitely will dry down on that fabric. Oh, see if you're not. Okay, I'm going to go all the way across real quick. It's okay to have mistakes there, but this fabric kind of, what do you call it? Kind of buckled up there. So I'm actually just going to take that and pull it down since I don't have it sewn all the way down yet. But if I wasn't able to do that, I would just be okay with it. Oops. I have like a bright green thread because I thought that would look kind of fun. I want these to be bright and fun. So we'll do a couple more here, and then I'm going to show you what to do if you have one that's like all blank and you want to spruce it up a little. No, I don't mean blank. I mean all like the same fabric. Oh, I'm not doing great. There's little fuzzies everywhere. Okay. I get a lot of comments about people like saying like, I wish I could sew on fabric like you. And you guys, if you didn't know, like I never sewed before sewing on fabric. And so I just went for it because I really wanted to, I liked the look of it so much, and so I just went for it. And you totally can without knowing how to do it. I will say what I think is key is having a good sewing machine, and you don't have to pay a lot to have a good one. Mine costs, it was like in the $100 range. I do think the price has gone up on this one because I think it got so popular, but it's still like, even I would pay $200. I would probably pay a lot more. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's key to have a good and easy sewing machine. There's other ones too. And that's what's going to make it much better. Okay, so what I'm gonna just do real quick, since these ones are mostly just one fabric, this one has a little yellow up here. I just grabbed like a little trim. It's really cute, it has little butterflies. And for this one, I think I'll just put this up here. Since I'm gonna sew it, I don't need a lot of glue, but I wanna kind of stick it in place there. And that's all I really do. And like I said, I would normally want to add so much more, but I kind of think these ones look really nice, a little bit basic. And then I'll trim the sides like that. And I didn't even put it on there perfect, but it's still really cute. So we can do one more together here. And so for this one, and again, I'm not trying to overthink this at all. I'm gonna take some lace for this one, and let's go maybe up the side like that. This lace, you guys, I got this from Amazon. Well, it came with like 12 different rolls, I think, or something. So much. And it is so pretty. I kind of expected it to feel a bit cheap, and I was okay with that just because I thought it'll, you know, whatever, it's pretty and it's inexpensive and it'll be fine for like craft projects, but it really went above what I thought it was going to. And I will definitely be repurchasing. Okay, so let's sew these last two here. I still have a few more, but the last two that I'll do with you guys, because I'm sure you gotta go. I'm sure you gotta go do your own tags now, right? Let me know if you follow me on TikTok, please. Let me know. We'll do this last one. If you're not going to sew, I will say, use a little bit more glue than I was. And definitely be sure to add glue when you're like putting fabric on fabric. You might want to use even a fabric glue. I trust my Tombow Mono Aqua for that, but I still would probably use a stronger glue, just because, like, for instance, this little yellow square right here, if I didn't have enough glue, it might easily get caught on something and come off. But since I have that sewn on, I'm not going to worry about it now. So you can see that just like a little extra lace or something kind of makes those pop a bit more. Although again, I still think that they would be pretty if they're just like, for instance, this one right here. And maybe if you were using plain fabric, you would really want to do something extra, but even as simple as having like a fabric trim tag on top or something like that, that would be great. So I hope this inspired you to go ahead and grab out your scraps and play along with me, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys later. Bye.